When it comes to Suigetsu, for whatever reason, people tend to sleep on just how powerful this dude is. I mean, there's a reason that Sasuke recruited him to be part of Team Taka, and he had enough potential that Orochimaru turned him into a test tube baby and still kept him around in the main lab in the Boruto era. Well, in today's True Power series, the Sound Village edition, I'm gonna look at the true power of Suigetsu. So let's just start with why Suigetsu is a monster. This dude was openly called the second coming of Zabuza, one of the most legendary members of the 7 Ninja Swordsmen of the Mist. Like his brother, Suigetsu can use all the swords of the 7 Ninja Swordsmen. In a battle, Suigetsu has access to these swords. While Naruto fans are familiar with this ability to liquefy his body, what a lot of fans might not be aware of is that Suigetsu is confirmed to have a second change in chakra nature besides his natural affinity for water release. Suigetsu also has wind release in the change in chakra nature as revealed in Naruto Data Book 4 by series creator Masashi Kishimoto. While this is only in the anime, Suigetsu was skilled enough to hold off both Sasuke and Karin in a battle, though a strong argument can be made that Sasuke was heavily suppressed during that battle. However, what is most impressive is that in the Naruto manga, it was revealed that Suigetsu was forced to fight Jugo multiple times during his time as Orochimaru's test subject. The fact that he survived multiple battles with Jugo is pretty telling about his skill and his power. One final thing of note is that while it's only brief, Suigetsu was shown being able to briefly hold off a fully transformed Killer Bee, which if you know anything about the Killer Bee true power, then you know just how impressive this is. And as a bit of a side note, if you guys want to read the Naruto manga as well as support this channel, then if you look in the description box of this video, you'll see a link to my affiliate link where you guys can purchase the manga. There's no pressure on it. It's just if you guys want to support the channel, then this is a way for you guys to do it. Now, with that being said, let's get all the way back into the true power of Suigetsu. Moving into his ninjutsu, Suigetsu has multiple ways to fight his enemy. Water style water hail jutsu is used when he cups his hands together and then he points them at his target. What follows next is a barrage of water release bullets, being powerful enough that they demolish large trees and boulders with utter ease. The water release demon wave jutsu is one that can be used for offensive and defensive purposes. Suigetsu first uses his clan's secret jutsu to liquefy his body, and then he merges with whatever body of water is nearby. This is then when he transforms his body into a giant wave that is shown being strong enough to physically hold back a fully transformed Killer Bee, but it isn't powerful enough to take a tailed beast ball that's fired by a transformed Jinchuriki. The Great Water Arm Jutsu enhances the muscles in Suigetsu's arms. He gathers water from his entire body and he pumps up his arm. Due to the complexity of the jutsu and the degree of difficulty to master it and his high chakra control that's required to use this is a really hard jutsu to learn. Using this jutsu with just a punch, Suigetsu can shatter rock walls and he can even shatter steel with ease, though using this jutsu does take a bit of a toll on his body. When he uses the water gun jutsu, Suigetsu can either use one finger or he can go with 2 fingers on either hand and he can use this jutsu to attack. He compresses a single drop of water into his index finger and he fires it off with speed and force that's similar to a gunshot. The more focused the attack, the greater damage it can deal out. While Suigetsu can use water clones, it should be worth noting that Suigetsu's water clones only have 1/10 of his power and they can't travel too far away from his main body or else they get dispelled and they can't be used. Also, if they're hit with a hard enough attack, they turn into a puddle of water, similar to how if you hit a shadow clone hard enough, it goes poof in a puff of smoke. Suigetsu also masters Zabuza's silent killing jutsu, which is essentially him combining mist to hide himself from his enemies and moving through the area without making any noise, and he kills them in silence by slitting their throat before they can realize it, and he typically does this from behind. The hydrification of his body is a secret jutsu of his clan that allows him to liquefy his body whenever he's struck by a physical attack. When he uses this jutsu, he isn't harmed because his body turns into water until he returns his body to its natural state. Suigetsu can also liquefy his body to sneak into areas undetected, which makes it perfect for any type of mission mission where he has to gather intel. And he can also amp the muscles in his body, shoot water bullets, and drown his enemies using the hydrification jutsu of his clan. The only real way to damage him is to use lightning release, which makes sense since most of Suigetsu's attacks are rooted in water release jutsu. Finally, Suigetsu can use the water blob jutsu, which is probably his most brutal jutsu in his arsenal, and it's also the most simple one to use. Suigetsu liquefies his body and surrounds his target's head with the water, and he cuts off their air supply, slowly suffocating them until they either pass out or they drown. Well guys, that's it for this edition of the True Power series on Suigetsu. While the Boruto anime is showing off the various members of Team Taka, I really wanted to do my best to answer the questions you guys had about the various members now that they're showing up in the anime, and we're getting them in an arc where we could potentially see all of these characters together. As always guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an incredible day guys.